Ornarli with Voice of America with the Turkish service. Needless to say, this is a very timely panel, just Turkey having emerged from elections on June 12th, with the ruling Justice and Development Party winning, securing a third term with 50% of the vote. Many important issues are ahead in the Turkish political agenda. Ibrahim Kalin mentioned some of them moments ago. We can start with the constitutional reform, try and find a solution to the Kurdish question as the second, probably most important issue. To help us shed light on some of these important issues, we have a very distinguished panel with us. If I could introduce them briefly. To my right is Professor Henri Barkey, who's a visiting scholar at the Carnegie Middle East Program, also a professor at Lehigh University, well known to us in Washington. Also with us is Professor Dogu, who's a professor of political sociology at the University of Ankara. We have Carol Migdalovitz, who up until very recently was a well-known, well-respected analyst with the Congressional Research Service, her research focusing on the Middle East and Turkey for the most part. And last but not least, we have Professor Murat, who's Associate Professor of International Relations at Koç University in Istanbul, who's also at the Princeton Institute for International and Regional Studies. Panelists will have about 10 minutes to make some remarks, and then hopefully we can have an engaging discussion with the audience. Professor Ergil, would you care to go first?
Sure, okay. Well, I'm sorry if I look beat, because I came in yesterday. The jet has landed, but the lag is still with me. I'm sorry. I've been asked to address the Kurdish question, which I've been doing in the past 20 years, which I hope not, but we'll be addressing perhaps for another 10 years. If it was 2 days ago, I would have delivered you a totally different speech on the Kurdish issue. But things have drastically changed after what happened in Turkey in the past few days. So, why is Turkey so fluid? Meaning institutionalization and everything associated with it is still not settled. Modernization, globalization have not yet allowed the consolidation of social classes, economic division of labor, basic characteristics of political actors and organizations, their roles and rhetoric. Law, for example. Who makes the law and how? In Turkey, everyone except the MPs make law. The military makes law, for example. Bureaucracy makes law. And the more lasting blending of traditions and modern values, like being pious or religious and modern at the same time, or conservative and democrat at the same time, has not yet crystallized. The way and forms of these qualities blend and interact is still quite unsettled, fluid, that makes predictability very hard. This makes us scholars more of a witch doctor rather than social scientists whose predictions are correct. The outcome of the 12th of June elections reveals several factors. First, the 10% election barrier has lost its relevance. One of the basic reasons of the barrier was to keep the Kurds away from the parliament, representing the disgruntled Kurds as Kurds. We wanted them to be elected within mainstream parties and stay quiet. They could hardly bring together about 20 MPs and form a group in the legislature and soon after being banned. If I remember well, they had 6 parties before, which were all banned in a row. And this time, I think they will not face such a danger, but they face the parliamentary decision that their party may be declared defunct if they do not take the oath and become members of the parliament. Because one of the prominent members of the group, supported by the Peace and Democracy Party, Mr. Dicle, has been denied entry into the parliament just because his prison sentence was not served by 39 days. In fact, the thing is, he has served more than a year in the prison, which is an unlawful case. That is, it was an extra penalty. And his lawyers spoke with the authorities, said this can be adapted to the penalty given by another, for another case. But the High Council of Elections said he's short of 39 days. This penalty, extra penalty, could be commuted or converted into a monetary penalty, or the government could at least promise that they would convene the parliament and pass a law saying that the obstacle to this could be alleviated. But they didn't. So now the whole party, the remaining 35 members of the BDP, will not take the oath and participate in legislative activities. The funny thing is that the main opposition party, the Republican People's Party, has 2 deputies elected while they are in prison, charged with a coup conspiracy. And the court doesn't allow them to come out and to take their place in the parliament. If these 2 parties refuse to go to the parliament, no one knows what will happen. It's either counts or early elections. It could be either way. We do not know yet. Knowing that the second opposition party that will take place in the parliament, namely the Nationalist Action Party, will not support the so-called solution of the Turkish case or the making of a constitution that will ease the way to a solution, we seem to have a serious problem. The ruling AK Party will feel very lonely in this neighborhood. And if this is the case, how far can AK Party go forward to lead a path that will be widened by following political actors? That we do not know either. As regards the AK Party agenda concerning the Kurdish issue, it is indexed to the flexibility of the body politics. Prime Minister Erdogan orders consecutive public opinion polls and studies them very carefully.